Hey there, this is Matt Heffron. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to get a little hand modeling for you today because I got this little package here. So what could it be? Well, I don't know. Maybe if you saw the thumbnail, that would give you a clue. I did open this already, so I'm just going to sort of get this little bit of tape that I put on there. I just wanted to make sure that this was the thing that I was expecting to unbox, not something else like you don't need to see the new checks that I've ordered. So yeah, what this is supposed to be is an Altera FPGA development board. And of course, though, I didn't want to pay a lot for it. In fact, I paid a mere $32 for it because I got it from Wish, where I've gotten all sorts of fun things. Like, you probably haven't seen the video where I was playing with a knockoff NES Mini Classic thing that I also got off Wish, which worked, you know, reasonably well considering the price. It was much cheaper than a real NES Classic, which Nintendo foolishly doesn't let you buy anymore. And so I got this for $32 as opposed to, you know, anywhere from $45 to $150, depending on where you look, because again, you know, supply chains being what they are, stuff like this is not easy to come by. Like, you can't even get a Raspberry Pi these days. And so here it is. Look at this, huh? Yeah, it's Amdaz. It has the printing on it for Cyclo 4. It looks like a real Altera chip. It's got this nice little like plexiglass top up here and these standoffs. And let's take a look at some of the buttons we've got here. I'm guessing these are all programmable. Yeah, they feel like nice buttons. We got a little barrel connector here for some power. We got some JTAG ports here so that I can connect this to my computer and be able to upload the code to it and also use it to step into it. Have all those sort of debugging properties. In theory, I should be able to put all sorts of different cores. Like, I want to try putting a 6502 core in there, or maybe just doing some of my own stuff. But as you can see, it has enough on here, including a VGA port. It's got a 9-pin port, I'm assuming to use as like a RS-232 serial port. It's got a little mini DIN connector, like a PS2. It's colored purple to make me think that that would be used for a keyboard, a PS2 keyboard. And it's got like 4 7-segment display components with little decimal points on there. So I could get real simple. We got some dip switches. I don't know what those are for. And we've got this little button up here. Oh, you know, that's a big mechanical toggle there. And then we've got USB over here, so we can connect to USB. I'm assuming that's probably how I'd get code onto it. And yeah, so I mean, it looks legit. So we're going to see. I think this video may just be the unboxing. So yeah, this is what's going to be coming up, is some adventures in doing VHDL. Taking off-the-shelf VHDL components, CPU cores. Of course, going to be talking about retro cores because that's what we're all about here. And yeah, just trying to get this stuff to work. Try to maybe make a little single-board computer out of it. You know, we're sitting around waiting for all these systems to come out. USB Blaster. Okay, so look, that's very interesting. Okay, it's got a little micro USB on there. And okay, so yeah, so this is got this ribbon cable here to go from this to one of those JTAG ports on there, and then I can bridge from that to USB. And then here, oh, it's in a Ziploc bag. We've got this USB cable. Of course, this is just the standard sort of printer type USB cable, which hooks into there. But I know I've got plenty of mini USB cables kicking around, and I can use that if I want to play with the JTAG interface. So that would be really interesting. So yeah, more to see in this. Maybe in this video we'll try to fire it up and get something to work on it. Of course, it comes with 0 instructions, paperwork, anything like that. It just gives you the hardware. So yeah, this will be interesting. Is this all fake? Is this vaporware? This seems to be an awful lot of trouble to go through to make it vaporware. I mean, this is a decent looking PCB too, with all the masking all over it. Yeah. I mean, I like the black solder masking. It looks really nice. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see what we get. All right, so this is the page on Wish.com of what I bought. Now, the price is higher than it was when I bought it. It's gone up quite a bit. I don't know if this is a good or a bad indication, that maybe if it was a real thing, that I guess maybe demand is increasing enough because people got the word. I'm not part of that word yet, but here we can see all of these pictures. It's pretty realistic. Here you can see the one with the little plexiglass cover and that USB blaster for the JTAG connection, and then this power USB cable, and then a little bit nice labeling there telling you what the individual chips are, and really insistent that that is a real Altera FPGA there, and all these other things. It has an EEPROM, has DRAM, because apparently from what I've been able to glean is that you can either burn a program into the FPGA, and you can use that EEPROM effectively to automatically and power up run a specific program, or you can just have it stored within this volatile RAM that when the power goes off, it goes away, so that each time it powers up, you have to reprogram it. So yeah, it's got all these, again, very accurate looking pictures, which is definitely not always the case with Wish. So it's a QFP chip instead of a BGA package. Makes it easy to learn, allegedly. There's high quality welding. I can't argue with that. It looks like a professionally made PCB. And yeah, so it looks pretty legit. It has all this information, but of course, when like we saw with the unboxing, there's no documentation that comes with it. So I had to get a little more creative, a little more sleuthy to figure out what was going on. So next I went to another place where apparently this same board is being sold, of course, AliExpress. If it comes from China, either Wish or AliExpress or both of them are going to be selling it. So it looks like more people are getting it from AliExpress than are getting it from Wish. But, same difference is that you're getting basically something with no documentation. But on AliExpress, they do have all these like expanded versions with extra things like a remote control and stuff. I'm not sure what's going on. So, I'm still trying to find information, because even here, like on the overview, it has those same pictures that you see on Wish, the same like Omdaz fake name superimposed on there. I'm guessing multiple vendors or multiple names have been applied to the same board. And here, yeah, apparently there's like these daughter boards that they make, like including on the display. So this is a bit beyond what you see on Wish, because I think AliExpress actually sells these daughter boards. And then, yeah, here's what the box is going to look like. And they put the link for the store up there, but no link to any actual documentation. Of course, then all the boilerplate. So looking at, well, who else is selling it? Where is this? And I did find over back in China on Taobao, which is Alibaba's local marketplace. They have this board being sold there too, but I'd have to have a Chinese Alibaba account to get in there. But isn't this nice here? The Chinese site has the little falling flower animation over everything. So they have all these different FPGA boards. And I've been able to like glean some information like this. Our FPGA sort of sub store of Taobao is selling a bunch of these things. And that led me to this bit of a helpful thing of, oh, yes, here's this Amdaz how to load things in. And here it directs you to a version of Quartus that is it's apparently Quartus 2, and shows you here's all these this test programs. It's like, well, where are they getting all this? But I mean, if it works with Quartus, I should be able to download the latest and greatest Quartus, and it should all work and kind of follow these instructions a bit. And so what I was able to get was, of course, here's Quartus. And I found this this program that actually showed up in that screen cap because there was a Altera Cyclone 4 board, version 3.0, I guess. I don't know. But here it says documentation for relatively cheap, $40. I got it for less than that. For the Altera Cyclone 4, again, making it really seem like this is a real thing. And they have a vendor page for it. I haven't gone to that yet. But yeah, there's the picture. And it has this documentation in there, but not a lot of documentation about like how to really use the board, like this dev board manual. When you look at that, it's basically like here's how not to fry the board. And that's about it. There's no real information on how to use it, but it has some of the standard information for the Cyclone 4, that the old Altera docs and some newer Intel docs are in there. You can see some of this repo here. It's like 5 years ago, because I mean, yeah, the Cyclone 4, it's an old chip, and so I guess this is an older dev board, and that's why it's still being sold pretty cheaply. They must have a lot of them just in some warehouse in China. Who knows what's going on. But anyway, in here is that example code, including this peripheral control LED. And here we can see what's going on there. It's very simple. And then in Quartus, we can look at the VHDL, and literally all it's doing is saying, all right, the LEDs, there's like a bitmap for the LEDs, and I'm just going to just turn them all on. So if all the LEDs turn on solidly, you know that this worked. And of course, as we're going to see here, the initial state of the board is not all of them on solidly. All right, so here it is on my very makeshift bench. I've got this USB blaster connected over here to the JTAG input, and that is, you can see there's the little LED is on because that is connected to USB, getting power from there. Meanwhile, I have the other USB cable is strictly for the power, and if I turn it on, oh, it comes alive. Look, there's like a blinking light pattern happening. So something is happening. There is some sort of active logic on this board that's doing something. Whether that's programmed into this, whether an actual FPGA or not, we don't know. But see, here's what happens when here I have Quartus running, and I have this test program that's supposed to be for this board. And then I try to go ahead and program that over JTAG. And no, I get this error right here, the dreaded error 89. by trying to hook up the JTAG and get this program installed. The lights kept on flashing because we kept giving this error. The actual JTAG connection couldn't work. So I did a little more digging, and here I found this forum under Intel, and I think this is a lot of folks like me who are trying to run this on Linux, and it looks like there's an issue maybe with the USB, that I don't have the permission set up correctly. So that's one avenue I'm going to try, is getting the USB reconfigured and seeing if I can actually get the JTAG server to actually run correctly, because it still kind of looks like it's above board. I still want to give that benefit of the doubt for what's going on here, but if I go to the comments on AliExpress, I get a little more background here. So here's one guy from Russia. Again, Russian people. Nothing against the Russian people, Russian leadership, not a fan of the Russian leadership. But here's a guy just like me in Russia and bought a cheap board because he didn't have money to spend on an expensive board. I totally get this guy. And it looks like he was having some of the same issues as me, that it doesn't seem to respond. Now, and we can see even here, a Ukrainian has a similar complaint to me. Everything is okay, except there's no link to examples. And there's contact for someone's support for that link with examples. Yes, and so, got to shop around a little bit. But, folks are getting along here. They're in Brazil, they're in Russia, they're Ukraine, they're right here in the United States. We're all just trying to make this cheap Chinese FPGA board work. But none of us are having any any real ease, or at least nobody's put up anything about it. So I'm going to keep trying here with the USB reconfiguration here, trying to force that JTAG server to work correctly. But of course, I do have to relent and try to get this running on Windows. I know, I'm sorry, but I am currently downloading Quartus for Windows on my Windows desktop machine. It's just a crappy machine because I don't care about Windows. But we'll see once that program gets downloaded on there, and I'm going to try connecting this JTAG USB blaster thing to that and see if Windows, not being as tightly security minded as Linux, is able to just connect to some shady board over JTAG. We'll see. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna do for this first episode, but I do hope to eventually get to actually conclusively deciding whether or not this is a real FPGA board, and if it is, we're gonna start doing some of these other test programs and see how they work, and start exploring some of this firmware hardware design with FPGA, with the ultimate goal of being able to make this into a single board computer, an extremely simple one, not anything as fancy as the Commander X16. This FPGA is definitely not big enough to handle something of that scale, but something a lot smaller, definitely some very simple 6502 based thing. There's Open 6502 cores. I'm going to give it a try. We're going to see if we can make this work. And so, if you want to see what we're going to do in that next episode, the best way to do that, of course, is to subscribe. And that is totally free. And you can click that bell to be notified when that video comes out. And you'll be the first to know. But even before those people that click on that bell, these folks you see right here, they are contributing to this channel on Patreon. And they get to see all these videos ad-free before they come out to the general public, and also really help provide some of that early feedback to bring the best quality content to you folks for free on YouTube. So however you want to support the channel, just subscribe, get on the Patreon. You can even join the channel on YouTube. If you don't want to do the Patreon thing and just want to get the videos early on YouTube, you can click that join button also. But, you know, on Patreon, we got a lot of other cool stuff going on too. So however you want to do it. Just thanks for coming, and I hope to see you again soon. All right? Bye-bye.